Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Deliver to an enemy by treachery. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. The brothers sell shoes. Be approved of or gain acceptance. Be responsible for the sale of. Be sold at a certain price or in a certain way. These books sell like hotcakes. Exchange or deliver for money or its equivalent. She sells her body to survive and support her drug habit. Give up for a price or reward. Persuade somebody to accept something. The French try to sell us their image as great lovers. The activity of persuading someone to buy. It was a hard sell. Disappoint, prove undependable to, abandon, forsake. Reveal unintentionally. Her smile betrayed her true feelings. Deliver to an enemy by treachery. The spy betrayed his country. Give away information about somebody. Cause someone to believe an untruth. Be sexually unfaithful to one's partner in marriage. An agreement between parties, usually arrived at after discussion, fixing obligations of each. He rose to prominence through a series of shady deals. Wood that is easy to saw, from conifers such as pine or fir. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Succeed in doing, achieving, or producing something, with the limited or inadequate means available. Often followed by, of, a large number or amount or extent. A deal of trouble. Direct the course of, manage or control. A particular instance of buying or selling. It was a package deal. Give out as one's portion or share. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. This book deals with incest. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. She deals in gold. Administer or bestow, as in small portions. Deal a blow to someone. The cards held in a card game by a given player at any given time. Be in charge of, act on, or dispose of. I can deal with this crew of workers. A plank of softwood, fir or pine board. Behave in a certain way towards others. He deals fairly with his employees. Distribute cards to the players in a game. Who's dealing? Give, a specific card, to a player. He dealt me the queen of spades. Sell. Deal hashish. Take action with respect to someone or something. How are we going to deal with this problem? The act of apportioning or distributing something. The captain was entrusted with the deal of provisions. The act of distributing playing cards. The deal was passed around the table clockwise. The type of treatment received, especially as the result of an agreement. He got a good deal on his car. Engage in the trade of. An equal exchange. Steady winds blowing from east to west above and below the equator. They rode the trade winds going west. People who perform a particular kind of skilled work. As they say in the trade. The business given to a commercial establishment by its customers. A particular instance of buying or selling. I had no further trade with him. Turn in as payment or part payment for a purchase. Trade in an old car for a new one. Exchange or give something in exchange for. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. The skilled practice of a practical occupation. He learned his trade as an apprentice. Be traded at a certain price or under certain conditions. The stock traded around $20 a share. The commercial exchange, buying and selling on domestic or international markets, of goods and services. Venice was an important center of trade with the East. Be false to. Be dishonest with. Entice or induce, especially when unwise or mistaken. Be false to. Be dishonest with. Act with artful deceit. Cheat or trick. He cozened the money out of the old man. Be false to. Be dishonest with. Cause someone to believe an untruth. The insurance company deceived me when they told me they were covering my house. Be false to. Be dishonest with. Conduct business. Transact with foreign governments. Be priced at. Represent, as of a character on stage. Form or compose. These constitute my entire belonging. Be identical or equivalent to. Have life, be alive. A light, strong, brittle, gray, toxic, bivalent metallic element. Have an existence, be extant. Work in a specific place, with a specific subject, or in a specific function. Have the quality of being. Copula, used with an adjective or a predicate noun. Occupy a certain position or area, be somewhere. What is behind this behavior? Spend or use time. I may be an hour. To remain unmolested, undisturbed, or uninterrupted, used only in infinitive form. Let her be. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older. Reverse, a direction, attitude, or course of action. Mutual interaction. The activity of reciprocating or exchanging, especially information. The act of changing one thing for another thing. There was an interchange of prisoners. Give to, and receive from, one another. Put in the place of another. Switch seemingly equivalent items. Synonyms can be interchanged without changing the context's meaning. Reciprocal transfer of equivalent sums of money, especially the currencies of different countries. He earns his living from the interchange of currency. Cause to change places. Interchange this screw for one of a smaller size. A junction of highways on different levels that permits traffic to move from one to another without crossing traffic streams. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. The act of changing one thing for another thing. Adam was promised immortality in exchange for his disobedience. Give to, and receive from, one another. Put in the place of another. Switch seemingly equivalent items. Reciprocal transfer of equivalent sums of money, especially the currencies of different countries. Exchange a penalty for a less severe one. A workplace that serves as a telecommunications facility where lines from telephones can be connected together to permit communication. The act of putting one thing or person in the place of another. Sports. An unbroken sequence of several successive strokes. Change over, change around, as to a new order or sequence. A mutual expression of views, especially an unpleasant one. They had a bitter exchange. A workplace for buying and selling, open only to members. Chemical process in which one atom or ion or group changes places with another. Chess, gaining, or losing, a rook in return for a knight or bishop. Black lost the exchange. Chess, the capture by both players, usually on consecutive moves, of pieces of equal value. The endgame began after the exchange of queens. Hand over one and receive another, approximately equivalent. Exchange prisoners. The act of giving something in return for something received. Deductible losses on sales or exchanges of property are allowable. Free from harm or evil. To surrender someone or something to another. The guard delivered the criminal to the police. Hand over to the authorities of another country. Throw or hurl from the mound to the batter, as in baseball. The pitcher delivered the ball. Pass down. Deliver a judgment. Deliver, a speech, oration, or idea. Carry out or perform. Deliver an attack. Relinquish possession or control over. Cause to be born. Save from sins. Bring to a destination, make a delivery. Our local supermarket delivers. Utter, an exclamation, noise, etc. The students delivered a cry of joy. The act of surrendering, usually under agreed conditions. Give up or agree to forego to the power or possession of another. The last Taliban fighters finally surrendered. A verbal act of admitting defeat. Relinquish possession or control over. The squatters had to surrender the building after the police moved in. Acceptance of despair. The delivery of a principal into lawful custody. Leave, a job, post, or position, voluntarily. Part with a possession or right. Put an end to a state or an activity. Give up in the face of defeat of lacking hope. Admit defeat. Give up or agree to forego to the power or possession of another. Stop consuming. Give up alcohol. Stop maintaining or insisting on, of ideas or claims. Both sides have to give up some claims in these negotiations. Allow the other, baseball team to score. Give up a run. Give up with the intent of never claiming again. Relinquish possession or control over. Give up what is not strictly needed. Lose, s.th. Or lose the right to s.th. By some error, offense, or crime. Give over. Surrender or relinquish to the physical control of another. Relinquish possession or control over. Win approval or support for. Cause somebody to adopt a certain position, belief, or course of action. Twist somebody's arm. You can't persuade me to buy this ugly vase. An agreement, or contract, in which property is transferred from the seller, vendor, to the buyer, vendee, for a fixed price in money, paid or agreed to be paid by the buyer. The salesman faxed the sales agreement to his home office. An occasion, usually brief, for buying at specially reduced prices. They held a sale to reduce their inventory. A particular instance of selling. He has just made his first sale. The general activity of selling. They tried to boost sales. The state of being purchasable, offered or exhibited for selling. You'll find vitamin C for sale at most pharmacies. An act of betrayal. He gave us the old double cross. Betray by double dealing. An area in a town where a public mercantile establishment is set up. A marketplace where groceries are sold. The grocery store included a meat market. Make commercial. The securities markets in the aggregate. The market always frustrates the small investor. The world of commercial activity where goods and services are bought and sold. Without competition there would be no market. Buy household supplies. We go marketing every Saturday. Deal in a market. Engage in the commercial promotion, sale, or distribution of. The company is marketing its new line of beauty products. The customers for a particular product or service. Before they publish any book, they try to determine the size of the market for it. Press, drive, or impel someone to action or completion of an action. He pushed her to finish her doctorate. The act of applying force in order to move something away. He gave the door a hard push. Make strenuous pushing movements during birth to expel the baby. Now push hard, said the doctor to the woman. An electrical switch operated by pressing. The elevator was operated by push buttons. Move with force. He pushed the table into a corner. Strive and make an effort to reach a goal. We have to push a little to make the deadline. Make publicity for, try to sell, a product. The salesman is aggressively pushing the new computer model. Approach a certain age or speed. She is pushing 50. The force used in pushing. The push of the water on the walls of the tank. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. The Liberal Party pushed for reforms. Enterprising or ambitious drive. An effort to advance. The army made a push toward the sea. Move strenuously and with effort. The crowd pushed forward. Press against forcefully without moving. She pushed against the wall with all her strength. Sell or promote the sale of illegal goods such as drugs. The guy hanging around the school is pushing drugs. Deal on the black market. Someone who engages illegally in trade in scarce or controlled commodities. Sell or offer for sale from place to place. Wrangle, over a price, terms of an agreement, etc. A seller of shoddy goods. A person who writes radio or TV advertisements. Sell or offer for sale from place to place. Set the level or character of. She pitched her speech to the teenagers in the audience. Any of various dark heavy viscid substances obtained as a residue. Abrupt up and down motion, as caused by a ship or other conveyance. The pitching and tossing was quite exciting. Promotion by means of an argument and demonstration. An all-fours game in which the first card led as a trump. A sports field with predetermined dimensions for playing soccer. Throw or hurl from the mound to the batter, as in baseball. The pitcher delivered the ball. Heel over. Be at an angle. Sell or offer for sale from place to place. Erect and fasten. Pitch a tent. Move abruptly. A high approach shot in golf. Baseball. The act of throwing a baseball by a pitcher to a batter. Degree of deviation from a horizontal plane. The roof had a steep pitch. Throw or toss with a light motion. A vendor's position, especially on the sidewalk. He was employed to see that his paper's news pitches were not trespassed upon by rival vendors. Fall or plunge forward. She pitched over the railing of the balcony. Hit, a golf ball, in a high arc with a backspin. Lead, a card, and establish the trump suit. Set to a certain pitch. He pitched his voice very low. The action or manner of throwing something. His pitch fell short and his hat landed on the floor. The property of sound that varies with variation in the frequency of vibration. Sell or offer for sale from place to place. Someone who purchases and maintains an inventory of goods to be sold. Sell or offer for sale from place to place. A square board with a handle underneath, used by masons to hold or carry mortar. An advocate of an aggressive policy on foreign relations. Sell or offer for sale from place to place. Clear mucus or food from one's throat. Diurnal bird of prey typically having short rounded wings and a long tail. Hunt with hawks. The tribes like to hawk in the desert. A massive monument with a square base and 4 triangular sides, begun by Cheops around 2700 BC as royal tombs in ancient Egypt. A polyhedron having a polygonal base and triangular sides with a common vertex. Arrange or build up as if on the base of a pyramid. Enlarge one's holdings on an exchange on a continued rise by using paper profits as margin to buy additional amounts. Increase rapidly and progressively step by step on a broad base. Stock market. A series of transactions in which the speculator increases his holdings by using the rising market value of those holdings as margin for further purchases. Use or deal in, as of stock or commercial transaction, in a pyramid deal. Be sold at the retail level. These gems retail at thousands of dollars each. Sell on the retail market. The selling of goods to consumers, usually in small quantities and not for resale. At a retail price. I'll sell it to you retail only.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.